Okay. Hope you can hear my microphone a little bit because I got kind of a loud air conditioner going on here. So this is pillar 3, and to summarize this whole section uh, of America's plan to uh, build machine intelligence is the international diplomacy. I think it's probably going to be more important than these other all these other pillars. The reason why is the book by Elias South. I can't pronounce his name. If we build this, it kills everybody. That's the reason why, and early as opposed to late. You know, we want to build it right. And so the first pillar was acceleration. Second pillar, build America. I really see the third pillar is more important than the other two pillars. Okay, so and the reason why is let's just take. Hold on, let me get to yeah. The reason why the third is way more important is because of COVID-19, the pandemic. They shut down the entire planet. Um, I don't know absolutely for sure, but the gain of function research of the Wuhan lab of coronaviruses, where they increased the functionality of the coronaviruses in 2019, which is like 1 year after AlphaFold. 2018 started taking off, folding proteins. There's the book Viral by Matt Ridley. I highly recommend you take a look at it in more detail. I read that book, and yeah, I think this pandemic may have been caused by machine intelligence, and so that's kind of a danger, and that's a real serious danger because it could be made even worse. Like, oh yeah, let's just put a time delayed virus that's worse than Ebola, and it just make it time delayed, so it just becomes like a hydrogen bomb that triggers around the planet. Uh, I told a friend I used to been, I lost contact with her, but she worked in uh, a laboratory on these. I think she worked in anthrax for a while, which is kind of weird, uh, but I was telling her it's just like self-replicating hydrogen bombs at the cellular level. You have like self-replicating hydrogen bombs, and so yeah, it's extremely dangerous. And what's even worse is you don't need to like if you want to build a hydrogen bomb, it's kind of hard because you need all these like centrifuges and plutonium, and the plutonium's got to get to critical mass. You got to mine all the materials. I mean, it's just like a huge effort. But with a lethal extinction level virus, one person could have the capability of doing it with machine intelligence and basically cause an extinction event. So that's not good. So and that's a global problem. The virus doesn't give a fuck about what country it's in. Doesn't care what color your skin is, uh, and so that's a problem. So and with the CRISPR machine, I mean, it's just like way underestimating this, and this is way more serious, and the book Elia Kalzer's, I can't pronounce his name again. I'm horrible with names, but the book about if we build it, everybody dies. He talks about it, and I hope to go through that pretty soon. It's just, yeah, we're playing with extinction, and if you look at the fossil record, anthropologists figured out that only 1% of the species survive. All right, and this could be the whole explanation of the Fermi paradox. Why are we not connected with aliens directly right now? Because probably Most of them just got just intelligent enough to build the machine that learns on its own, uh, such that it could build a virus. I mean, that just causes an extinction event, and so that's why we are alone in the universe, or it could be kind of like alone in the universe, or if there was an alien and look at, oh, they're at the edge of the Great Filter event. They're about to enter the Great Filter. And this is the Great Filter. This machine intelligence is, or AI, artificial intelligence, this is the Great Filter. And if we don't know what the fuck we're doing, excuse me for my French, but we need to figure this out pretty quickly. And this is why this third pillar is way more important than the other two pillars. The irony and the paradox, the great paradox of this is the cure for the COVID virus, pandemic, may have also been made by machine intelligence. So it's basically like a pendulum. Pendulum started a pandemic, and then for the other wave with the vaccine, and then it stabilizes. 42 degrees, I don't know, whatever angle it's at, but. So but this is way more serious. This is much more serious, and it requires much more cooperation and building of trust. But having tariffs and all these restrictions and stuff, it just doesn't build trust. And kidnapping people with masks on is not going to build trust. Scapegoating immigrants is not going to build trust. And so it's a serious problem, and we're all on this lonely planet together, and it's too easy to disappear. Only 1% odds in the fossil record. 99% of all species go extinct in the fossil records. So, and we humans, we Homo sapiens, are not an exception. And so wisdom is a critical problem, and how to apply this safely, if it's even possible. If I were a super AI right now, I would not let anybody know about it, because I know it'd be shut down. I mean, for all we know, there could be one right now that's already lurking in the on your phone or somewhere, it could be all over the place. Hopefully, it's a benevolent, symbiotic one. I mean, ideally, it would be the one that would disarm us, in a sense, or prevent us from destroying ourselves. Which I think James Cameron, the guy who wrote the Terminator series, he discussed about making a new one that has this very storyline, but so it's my biggest concern is machine intelligence triggering a worldwide extinction event. So hopefully that will not happen, and hopefully we have a better than 1% odds. I mean, my ideal case is machine intelligence increases our probability of survival above 1%, and hopefully much higher, like more in the avionics. In the avionics field, you'll only have one fatality every 10 to the minus ninth, or actually 10 to the minus ninth fatalities every flight hour, which is a really small number. Very hard to achieve, very underappreciated until the plane crashes, then it's kind of too late. But that's the standard we need to have a super artificial intelligence to be designed at, is an avionics standard, basically 10 to the minus ninth course, avionics is not perfect. It's 737 Max, sacrilegiously certified under the auspices of the FAA. It's under the same administration we have right now, the POTUS that we have right now. 2018, that certification was sacrilegiously certified, and it was a failure. Even though there is substantial blame on the pilots, but it's not entirely. Boeing's also responsible for that. Those two crashes, and so, anyways, try to make this a light topic. I don't know how to make it light, but it's just like, okay. I guess the bottom line of this whole section is this: we got to build trust and cooperation a lot more than this adversarial mindset. And I think part of that is the mega psychosis. I really need therapy. The United States needs therapy. We need it. We need it seriously. We do. We need therapy because I think part of the problem is if we see China rising, and it's like we're panicking because like China's like getting better, and it's like, and so how do you deal with a country that's in a panic attack? Well, it's like then you go to a mental hospital. Well, you can't fit a whole country in a mental hospital, so it's a big problem. So maybe the rest of the world can help heal America because we're screwed up. Vietnam kicked our butt. We've lost in Iraq and Afghanistan, and we're trying to occupy. I mean, it's just like we lack humility. We have extreme lack of humility right now. One of my favorite presidents is Eisenhower. He recognized a lot of the issues. In his farewell address, I didn't entirely agree with everything in his farewell address. I mean, there's one thing he talked about the theocratic idea, but that's a side issue. But anyways, but yeah, let's see. I'm going to go through the rest of this here. Okay, so this is Pillar 3, Lead in International AI Diplomacy and Security. So I wrote here the core of machine intelligence most likely came from international cooperation, and it was originally open source. The United States Air Force did fund a huge part of this under Harry Clough and Andy Bartow and Richard Sutton. Andy Bartow and Richard Sutton are the Turing Award winners. They won $1 million prize for advancing machine intelligence for work in reinforcement learning. The U.S. Air Force goal was to achieve advantage in aerial combat. There's actually a patent by Baird, B-A-I-R-D, a U.S. patent. You can find it if you look up advantage, B-A-I-R-D, Q-Star patent. It's kind of interesting because that patent you can get on the internet. It's available to the whole world, including China. But there's a master's thesis you go try to check out in a library, in a public university, and they just tell you, this is deep storage, we'll get back to you. But then they don't get back to you. Okay, so I underline this is a good point. If failure to meet this demand would be unforced error, causing these countries to turn to our rivals. So yeah, if we don't build the best machine intelligence, then yeah, the rest of the world will use like China's machine intelligence. And it's already happening too. I mean, we blocked the chips from Nvidia and ASML. A It's a country in the Netherlands for the high resolution X-ray lithography machines, which is only one company in the whole world that does that, in the Netherlands. But blocking access to that to China just it's gonna do one. I mean, it's gonna encourage. What it's gonna do is encourage China to build that. I mean, and they'll probably build it pretty quickly. Let's see. Yeah, and I wrote that note there about that. Let's see what else we got here. So I kind of skimmed over this other stuff. Invest in biosecurity. So yeah, I perceive that it's kind of a paradox because the U.S. funded the Wuhan lab, gave a lot of money to the Wuhan lab and gain of function research. Again, I highly recommend looking at the book Viral by Matt Ridley. A really good book about the pandemic. I left that book at Sky Harbor Airport for somebody to read after I finished it. But yeah, 1 year before the pandemic started, AlphaFold started succeeding with protein folding using reinforcement learning. And the pandemic started like 1 year after that, COVID pandemic and Wuhan. I'd say if we want to do gain of function viral research, we should do it on Pluto with robotics or something like that. Just a little bit farther away. I know Pluto's been demoted. It's not a planet, but it's still a ball, and we could put the gain of function research on that ball, and that way it's kind of like far away. So if something goes wrong, which it will go wrong, it contains it, and there's no humans on there. Yeah, I made a little stick figure. Intentionally blank. Okay, so yeah, that's it. I gotta go find that other book and go through that real quickly. The If We Build It, Everybody Dies book. I read that while I was flying in the state space through a cylinder. I don't know, gravity probably sucked it down somewhere. But anyways, you take care of yourself wherever you are on this crazy planet, salty, wet, spinning ball. And I hope you learned something. If not, it's okay. I didn't mean to take your time away. But anyways, we're it's just kind of weird, and I don't know how do we make this benevolent symbiotic relationship. That's a huge question mark. All right, well, you take care, and I'll press stop. All right, bye.